The Miami Heat beat the Indiana Pacers 142-132 in an exciting victory at the Kaseya Center. Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat basketball channel. My name is Amir. Before I get into today's video and the recap of this game, I just want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for the support. If you could please hit the subscribe button, it would mean a lot to me. And I'm on my path to 400 subscribers, so I'm getting pretty close. So, again, thank you for the support. So this game tonight was wild. So the Miami Heat tonight came back and showed a lot of grit and effort and were able to secure a win against a pretty good and young Indiana Pacers team, the best offensive scoring team in the NBA. We did hold them to under 100, and their average is 128, and we held them under that for quite a bit until the end of the fourth quarter. But either way, the Heat were down pretty much the entire game, and we were able to chip away, come back, and then the Pacers would regain a double-digit lead, and the same thing would happen all throughout the game into third quarter and the fourth quarter, and it was a frustrating game, honestly. But the Heat were able to pull this out, and we were shorthanded again. Bam Adebayo only played 12 minutes tonight and left in the second quarter after re-aggravating his hip injury, which has caused him to miss a few games this season. So that sucked. Losing Bam, obviously we're out without Hero for another week or so, and Highsmith was back, so that was great. But yeah, losing Bam was impactful, especially on the defensive side. But again, we were able to gut this victory out. So huge, huge win. Happy that we were able to do it, but it was super frustrating. So to start the game, the Miami Heat were cold, just like the last game. And I think we went like 1 for 6 or something to start the game. And the Pacers got out to an early 5-0 run. Obi Toppin was just balling. He had 8 of the Pacers' first 10 points, hit a couple threes, was able to get to the paint, get to the free throw line. So he was being aggressive to start the game. And Jimmy Butler, who missed the last game against the Bucks with an ankle injury, was pretty aggressive too in the first quarter, but wasn't effective or efficient to start the game. So the Pacers were up by 13 at one point in the first quarter. They took an 18-7 lead at one point when Haliburton hit a three, joining Obi Toppin. So they were able to hit 3 or 4 quick three-pointers to start the game to jump out to that initially 13-point lead, but they were up by 11. Duncan was playing really well tonight, and in the first quarter, he had a really good play. Like, he's developing as a playmaker and passer, so he's obviously not just a three-point specialist anymore. But he did have one play where Jimmy passed him the ball at the elbow. He pump fake for three, and he got 2 defenders on him, and he split the D and gave Jimmy a bounce pass on a give and go, and Jimmy was able to get to the paint and score a bucket. So good pass. He's continuing each and every game, not only to hit threes more efficiently, but he is getting to the rack every game and has been scoring in the paint on drives, which is just incredible. But he's also setting up his teammates with some beautiful passes and assists. So happy for Jimmy, or excuse me, Duncan. Happy Jimmy was back, but happy that Duncan is continuing to improve on his all-around game. So second quarter, Obi Toppin already had 10 points going into the second quarter. Bam was struggling at first in his limited time that he played. He was missing some bunnies at the rim, and he was 2 for 7. And I think he missed only 1 jump shot, so 4 at the rim. And Bam finally was able to get a bucket by going coast to coast on a super aggressive and one layup that he was able to score. Caleb Martin came off the bench and did really well tonight. Our bench in general just dominated. They had 66 points off our bench. I don't know what Pacers had. I think they had like 15 or 20 or something like that. So nothing even close or comparable. But Caleb Martin has been coming off the bench and has been playing really well the last few games. He's shown that athleticism, that burst. It looks like that knee tendonitis has passed him, and I think it was good that he missed so many games to get that rest to ensure that he was good to go before coming back to the lineup. So he was playing really well, and he had some nice layups at the basket, and he was able to cut the lead by 3 and get the Heat from down 13 in the first quarter to down 3. So it was 48 to 45. Um, Kyle Lowry, again, played really well, got into some foul trouble tonight. So I don't think he even played the entire fourth quarter. Played around 25 minutes or so, which I think is a perfect amount of time for him at his age. But he hit some big 3-pointers in this game. He got to the rack at least 3 times, maybe 4. So he's been able to turn the corner and get downhill somehow these past few games and scored some points in the paint and looks like vintage Kyle Lowry. And if he's doing this every other game, that's totally fine with me. But he has been stepping it up with these injuries. Once Bam was out, he knew that he had to step up and score as one of our only, few point guards or guards that we have left right now on the roster due to injury. So in the second quarter, Miami had some bad turnovers, and Haliburton, this kid is 23 years old, and this guy's going to be a perennial All Star. He doesn't look that amazing, honestly. It's not like the sexiest game, but he is just a bucket. Like he made multiple step back threes to end the second quarter. Super difficult shots. He's able to turn the corner, get downhill, got past so many different Miami defenders one on one, broke them down all game long. So was able to score, you know, at the rim, in the mid range, and then more specifically, he likes to shoot a lot of threes. But he had some big threes, and he had 28 points on 9 for 14 from the field, 5 for 9 from three, um, going into half. So for the third quarter, um, the Heat came out firing. Kyle Lowry hit back-to-back three-pointers, which was great. And then he also got another layup and scored the Miami Heat's first 8 points in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, which was great. Jimmy Butler then started to pick up some steam and started to become a little more efficient. And subsequently, the Heat had a couple turnovers after that, but then Jimmy got 2 and 1 baskets the old fashioned way under the basket in a row, which was great. And that brought the Heat within 2. So it was the closest they ever got. They have not taken a lead yet since the beginning of the game. Or I don't even think they had a lead literally until the fourth quarter, actually. So 82-80 Pacers. Toppin was just killing us on the offensive glass. And he was just owning the Heat. And he was able to one possession, he got a layup, and then on the other side, blocked Duncan Robinson from getting a layup, a would-be easy layup, and then on the other end, he got another and one layup to finish off that sequence. So huge sequence for him. Haliburton also, he had some weak calls. He got to the rack again a lot, but got some pretty shitty and one calls that were super weak. But he was able to get an and one after Obi had that spectacular sequence. And then the Pacers went up back by 10, 92-82. So it seemed like it was going to be one of those games where the Heat were not going to be able to get over the hurdle and finally take a lead. So it was just always 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or actually 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So, yeah, tough third quarter. Um, but the Heat did fight back again to close out the third quarter. So Jaquez started to step up more so in the fourth quarter, but in the third quarter, he started playing better, and he helped the Heat with scoring off the bench. We'll get into the box score later, but he helped get some assists to Jimmy Butler, who was able to get a few more buckets, and the score is 197. by the end of the third quarter, and Jimmy Butler had 16 points. He got to the free throw line. We'll see. I think like 16 times tonight. So in the fourth quarter, um, Duncan hit a big three to start off that quarter, and so the Heat were down by only 1 point, and that was the closest they've been all game. And then Jaime Jaquez, who's been outstanding, one of the best rookies, one of the best steals of the draft. He on back-to-back plays had two backdoor cuts, four layups, and he scored on both of those. And the Heat finally got their first lead of the game, which was 104 to 103. Jaquez was just incredible. He was all over the place, playing in the post, hitting mid-range baskets, getting alley-oops. He was everywhere. So Jaquez helped the Heat go up 116 to 107, and he came up with a beautiful assist to Duncan Robinson, who hit another huge three to put the Heat up 121-109. And Jaquez then, after that play, got an alley-oop from Jay Rich, which put them up 123 to 109. The Heat went on a 17-2 run. There was like 4 minutes left, and Miami did what Miami always does, is they took their foot off the gas. Their offense became stagnant, and they weren't able to step on the Pacers' throat. They weren't able to keep them off the boards. They weren't able to stopping them from getting to the basket and also committing silly fouls. And they were able to come back within 6 points with like a minute left in the game, which was super frustrating. And Duncan and Caleb Martin had some bonehead fouls where they got some and one opportunities. But luckily, overall, we were able to hold up, got some extra free throws towards the end, and were able to win by 10 points. So pretty exciting game. Again, surprised that the Miami Heat scored 142 points. Like, that's insane. That's the most they scored by far this season. And they scored 45 points in the fourth quarter. They outscored the Pacers 45 to 32. So point differential in the fourth quarter, the Heat have been horrible with that. One of the worst teams, one of the worst scoring teams in the NBA in general, and second half scoring teams, but they scored 33 in the third, and the Pacers only scored 27. So huge second half for the Miami Heat. Looking at the box score real quick to end the video. So Jimmy Butler came back off that one game absence, and he killed it. He had 36 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 9 for 18 from the field, 18 for 20 from the free throw line. So that's going to do it. So crushed it. Got a lot of foul calls per usual. Made 18 free throws. Huge game for Jimmy Butler. We needed that. Duncan Robinson. This guy just keeps impressing me. I'm rooting for him. He has filled in for Tyler Hero very seamlessly, and he's been amazing. He had 16 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 5 for 9 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So he's getting to the foul line, which is great. He only had 3 fouls, so defensively he played okay. Again, he averaged like 5 fouls per game last year, and the refs are giving him some credit, which is awesome to see. Kyle Lowry played 25 minutes, 15 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 for 10 from the field, 3 from 6 from 3. Crushed it. 0 turnovers. He's been stepping up for his age. You know, all the shit that I've talked on him, calling him a meatball. He's been important, and he's been impressive. So happy to see him play well again. Bam, again, 7 and 4, 2 assists, 3 for 9, but only played 12 minutes. So sucks that he got hurt. I hope he's okay. Play the Pacers again, I think, on Saturday. So hopefully he doesn't miss that game. I'm hoping he could be good to go and get a couple days rest. So we'll see. But the bench, like I mentioned, bench scoring was huge. 66 points off the bench. Unreal. Jaime Jaquez Jr., third best rookie in the NBA. JJ Redick on his podcast said that he's possibly the third best right now behind Wemby and Chet. He's crushing it, man. 33 minutes, played, I think, the whole fourth quarter. 24 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 for 13, 1 for 3 from 3, 7 for 7, 1 steal from the free throw line. So incredible play. The way he moves off the ball, on those cuts, getting easy layups, the way he can back down and post up smaller players and can shoot over them has been huge. Just awesome game from Jaime Jaquez. Super impressed. Another player that I want to give some flowers to, who I'm super impressed with, is Jay Rich. He came off the bench, had 19 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 8 for 11 from the field, 0 for 2 from three. So the only shots he missed were at three. 3 for 4 from the free throw line. So he has just been crushing it the last couple of weeks after a slow start. He's had some games where he's not really been super efficient, but he's been scoring points, playing pretty good defense. So happy to see Jay Rich continue to improve. Caleb Martin, 25 minutes, 14 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 5 for 9 from the field, 0 for 2 from three, 4 for 6 from the free throw line, 1 steal. So again, he has been energetic and he's looking a lot better. He has that burst. He's our most athletic guy on the team, and he attacks the rim and he plays defense really well. And he's only going to get better, honestly, at this point. So he looked really good. Kevin Love in limited minutes, 17 minutes, he crushed it. He only took 1 shot, and he was 5 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 for 1, 3 for 4 from three or free throws. Excuse me. He had 2 sexy full court passes, 1 off a rebound, and a full court bounce pass to Jay Rich, and he had a layup over Obi Toppin. That was super nice. So K-Love crushed it. Our backup bigs played minimally. Orlando Robinson played 7 minutes. He had 2 points, 2 boards, 1 for 2. And then Thomas Bryant, 6 minutes, 2 points, 4 boards, 1 assist. He managed to be a -1 somehow, even in only those 6 minutes, which is pretty funny. But yeah, either way, great game from the Miami Heat. On the Pacers side, don't want to go through their entire box score, but Haliburton crushed it, 44 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists. This kid's an all-star. Obi Toppin really, really good. I guess he's getting a better opportunity with the Pacers than he did with the Knicks. He 25 points, 10 for 15. But yeah, they had a lot of guys in double figures. I mean, Brown had 15, Heel 12, Turner 13, Mathurin 12 off the bench. But their bench only scored 23 points to the Heat 66. So that could be ball game there. Going on the team stats, the Heat shot 56 from the field, 51 for the Pacers. They got 13 more shots than the Heat. God, they're so much quicker. Get so many more shots up than most teams. They shot 26% from three, which killed them. They're 11 for 43. The Heat were 8 for 21, 38%, which is pretty good. Didn't make a lot, but pretty good. Free throw line also is where the Heat won the game. 38 for 45. Got 13 more free throws. That's huge. 84%. They were 21 for 32, so that's 66%. Not that great. We had more turnovers, 14-9. I think if we cleaned that up, we would have been closer a lot earlier. 47 boards to 34. We also out-rebounded them by 13. They had 10 offensive rebounds to our 9. It felt like they had like 50, so I was surprised when I looked at the box score to see that the Heat had more rebounds. But more rebounds, better shooting from the field, better three-point shooting, more free throws, better free throw shooting. That's ball game, guys. All right, so happy the Heat were able to win. The Heat now are, what are they? 11-8, I believe. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. 11-8, 6th seed. Pacers are 9-8, 7th seed. So the Miami Heat are going to play the Pacers again. So this Saturday, I was correct, on December 2nd. So after the Pacers got some hopefully easy games, we got the Raptors. They're not that great. Cavs, not that great. And then Hornets back-to-back. I'm going to go to that Hornets game on Wednesday, December 13th. I'll be in Miami. I live in California. So excited to go see them in person. But anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you guys soon.